Hey guys, Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Iron Man Retro Series Count Nefario? Whatever the heck his name is. And I'm sure some of you out there are like, oh, you could have looked it up. Well, if I spend more time looking stuff up, that'd be less time I could spend making myself look like a dancing monkey boy for all of you guys out there in YouTube land. So, what do you think of that? Either way, I don't care what you think of that, because this guy is brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, and to me, when I initially pre-ordered him, I thought he was going to be Pig Warmer, Clearance Tag Central, and he still could, probably because I bought it, but gotta tell ya, I think the fine folks over at Hasbro will remain fine folks for this video, because I think they went a little bit more above and beyond than they normally do with characters like this. I mean, he's definitely a step up from the Despair figure I looked at a while back now, and I like that character more from an aesthetic standpoint. So, with that being said, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look see at all the Count has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a pair of 1, 2, 2 alternate hands. Not sure where that came from, but he's got 2 open hands. Not sure if he's like a magic user or anything, so maybe he could have come with some magic effects, but I'm sure if you've been collecting Legends for long enough now, you have plenty of those laying around that you're probably not using. If I had to guess, maybe you don't. I don't know. But either way, I certainly do, so if he's a magic user, I could definitely spruce this guy up with some of the effects I have, and I am not currently using. So, taking a closer look at him, he does have a cape that you can unplug. I did have to chip a little bit off the end of the peg here to get it to actually fit in his back. But once I did that, it was fine. Because this guy is actually, he's a pinless all the way around, both the legs and the elbows, with butterfly joints. The only figure I got from this wave with butterfly joints, that is. Because I didn't get the more modern Iron Man suit that was in this wave, because it didn't make any friggin' sense. That said, he does have the little strap-on? No. The little bandolier, kind of loop-de-loop piece, torso belt, whatever you call it, from Yondu. I think utilize the same torso. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Sunfire body, just pinless. And then he also has, I don't recognize this belt, but I'm sure it's reused from something. I know the cape is new, though, because he's got one shoulder covered and one that's just kind of free-flowing. With the popped-up Dracula collar, might I add. I gotta say, he does kind of look like Sinestro from DC a little bit. So if you wanted to swap this head onto that, what is it, McFarlane Collector's Edition Sinestro, you might be able to do that. Hair's not right, but looks like if Vincent Price was Sinestro from DC. To me, anyways. So that's pretty cool. And as far as articulation goes, his head is on a disc hinge, so you can look all the way up, all the way down. He doesn't have broken neck syndrome, but he does have a little lollipop to give him tilt and rotation. And of course, you can look up and down just on the peg itself. Shoulders will go out to the side about that far. Be mindful of the paint, though. You don't want to chip it. And actually, he does have the butterfly joints that swing back and forth. That's nice. He's got a bicep swivel, which I didn't actually lubricate my figure's biceps with any kind of soap. Debated on doing that, actually, but I don't think he really needs it. He's not nearly as gummy as some of the other figures, but I might hit this one at least, because this one feels a little gummy. But I'm not sure. Debating on doing that after I'm done with this review. So, that being said, he does have a double elbow that works pretty well. Kind of looks like he's got the jack-o'-lantern arms. I'm not sure on that one. Maybe they're new. Does have a hinge and a swivel in the wrist. His torso will move that far forward, that far back. He's got a waist twist. It's nice and tight because of the belt. I think, yeah, he's got pretty much almost a perfect split going on there. Kick forward, back a little bit. He's got a thigh cut. Move all the way around there. Double knee. Nice and tight. I did use some soap on his boots, because they were a little gummy out of package, but now they're pretty butter smooth, so I like that. Then he does have a hinge in the foot with a rocker. Check this boot. Yeah, they're both pretty smooth now, so... like the figure, man, despite the fact I don't know jack squat about this character, I think they did a slightly better job than on, you know, your average sort of peg warmer-y figure, which is nice to see. It's nice to see that for once, that they're not always going to be cutting corners. Hopefully this becomes a trend, and they'll do it more often, but I'm here for it, man. I'll buy these lesser characters if they use the pinless tack, give them some new parts and whatnot, because Marvel Legends don't have to be like the cat's pajamas to me for me to like them. They should be as good as they can be, though, with the parts that they have, and I think they have some really good parts that they don't utilize all too much, but when they do utilize them, I think they do a decent enough job. It's just, it sucks when your line relies solely on paint, you know? So it's nice to see that with this guy anyways. Looks like they gave a crap, man. So with that being said, it's time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Count Nefario, whatever the heck his name is, alongside the Iron Man Mark I suit, because if I'm not mistaken, this is a more classic comic book Iron Man villain. I'm not 100% sure if he was in the Iron Man animated series or not. I sure as heck don't remember him. Think I would with a name like that. Either way, speaking of that Iron Man animated series, we have Ivan Whiplash Vanko, who definitely made an appearance in that Iron Man animated series with this specific look, so, you know, at least we got that going for us. Moving these two out of the way. Bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulas. It's going to be a little tricky to fit in here because of his giant cape. There we go. The infamous Elephant Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while I know next to nothing about good old Count Nefario, whatever the heck his name is, I have to say that for the potential peg-warming filler figure of the wave, I think the fine folks over at Hasbro did a pretty good job on him, considering, again, I know next to nothing about the character. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.